When Naomi Klein and her husband Avi Lewis put out the LEAP Manifesto for the first time, I laughed. Okay, I thought, this is some kind of sick joke from the far-left climate alarmists. But the more and more mainstream NDPers who came out and endorsed this anti-human manifesto, I quickly realized this was no laughing matter. For us out west, resource development is our breadbasket, our livelihood, and frankly, it's been the driver of this country's economy for at least the last 10 years. Forestry, mining, fracking, the oil sands, offshore drilling, and even aquaculture are under direct assault from the LEAP Manifesto and its radical proponents. So it was with a keen eye I monitored the current slate of BC NDP candidates to see where they stand on this highly controversial and divisive far-left movement. BC NDP leader John Horgan has stated repeatedly that he doesn't think it makes sense for British Columbia. But can we really trust John Horgan, who's been affectionately named Say Anything John, as he has this propensity to try to be everything to all people at every corner of the province? And what of his list of candidates? How many of them are signatories to this anti-human document? Well, there are a few names on that list, and they will be the same names that British Columbians will see on their ballots next week. Interesting to note, though, that no current MLAs have signed the document, but a couple have flirted with it at some public events in the past, like MLA George Heyman of Vancouver Fairview, who tweeted that he was at a Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives event where Naomi Klein was speaking. Quote, "Largest crowd ever for CCPA Gala, ready with Naomi Klein to #LEAP," unquote. So George Heyman of Vancouver is ready to leap, and more like leap off the edge, right into energy poverty. While Heyman is one of the most high-profile candidates and only MLA who wants to leap, albeit without signing the document, there are 5 other names of NDP candidates that have signed the manifesto. Morgan Auger in Vancouver False Creek, Rana Ray Leonard in Courtney Comex, Barb Nenderpel in Kamloops North Thompson, and Lori Yan Denardo in Cowichan Valley. And Colleen Ross in Boundary Similkameen have all their names on the document, although Colleen Ross denied to me that she signed it despite there being 2 Colleen Rosses as signatories. A couple others have made pro-LEAP comments or statements on social media as well. Randall McNair, running in Kootenay East, shared a story on Facebook entitled, "Hey, John Horgan, lead us to LEAP," in February of last year. Barry Dorval of Vernon Monashee wrote a letter to the editor of the Vernon Morning Star in favor of the LEAP Manifesto. But there is no bigger backer in this election than one of Rachel Notley's favorite destroyers. I'm talking about Tzeporah Berman, who, despite taking payment from the Alberta taxpayers to serve on the Oil Sands Advisory Group, she is actively campaigning alongside John Horgan, who opposes pipelines and oil and gas development. Tzeporah is a big-time LEAP Manifesto backer, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you that.
More so than just corroding pipelines, oil is corroding our democracy.
And oil is not only corroding our pipelines, it's corroding our democracy.
Oil corrodes. It's corroding our pipelines for sure. Another spill today. But it's also corroding our institutions.
You've heard me refer to the LEAP Manifesto and those who sign it and support it as anti-human. I want to be clear, I'm not being deliberately hyperbolic when I say that. I have long subscribed to the thesis of Alex Epstein that fossil fuel use is a moral imperative for humans to flourish. LEAPers want us to deliberately put people into energy poverty and remove the largest sources of GDP growth from Western Canada. These people truly are anti-human, and no amount of climate alarmism will ever change that. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Thanks for watching. You know, May 9th is just a few days away, and we don't want to make a mistake and put anybody who supports the LEAP Manifesto into power in British Columbia. So keep it locked to the Rebel.media between now and then.